Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Gekokujo. Now, when we left off, we had just taken Edo from the likes of the Hojo clan, and they did attempt to scout it a little bit previously, before I started the recording, but I chased them off, and I have now garrisoned Edo with a rather sufficient amount of units. So, we are now here at Konodai Castle, and as you can see, they do have 274 Hojo units stationed here. So this is going to be, well, I wouldn't say too bad, however, I am a little bit, well, not dubious, but apprehensive perhaps is the better word, of some of their gunners. They do have 34 of those, but as we have seen previously, gunners are not necessarily too good as long as they miss. If they hit, then yes, we're most likely going down, but yes, nevertheless, we will now head in, and I am going to attempt, in this particular episode, to completely destroy the Hojo clan's morale, and indeed take 3 strongholds. 3 strongholds is the amount that I am going to aim for, and indeed try to... ouch. Yes, and indeed try to take, but as you can see, the gunners are doing a pretty sufficient job at the moment at actually killing some of our mounted officers. Well, not killing, but they are knocking them unconscious and taking them out of the fight. Whoa, my... Okay. That has not happened for quite some time, if I may say. That has not happened for quite a while. Well... That is quite strange. That has actually not happened for a huge amount of time for Bruce Beartilde himself, the Shogun of the Beartilde Shogunate, to be taken out in the first, 15 seconds of the siege? Wow, okay. Well, seeing as this is not necessarily going to be the most entertaining thing to watch, I suppose, watching our units run through the castle, I would like, after they have cleared those archers over to the left there and maybe a couple of gunners, I will be retreating and indeed attempting to rest up, hopefully get Bruce back in the fight, fighting fit and so forth, and then we will, I guess, head in here again. But as you can see, these fellows are just absolutely wrecking our faces, and I am actually really surprised at that. As you can probably tell, it actually left me a little bit speechless at the start there when we got taken out so incredibly easily. I'm actually puzzled. Well, nevertheless, our Hatamoto guards are doing a pretty reasonable job of taking them out. However, we are starting to lose quite a few of our units now, so yes, I will be cutting away, and once we have entered again, I will cut back. Okay, so we made it within their grounds, and as you can see, we have already lost 5 units to their gunners, so it appears that my fears about their gunners being relatively deadly were well founded. I am glad to say that I was a little bit correct this time around. Oh my goodness, really? No! Don't get taken out again, Bruce, please! Okay, it appears that I may be okay. No! That guy is shooting at me! No! Okay, we're fine. No, this guy is trying to kill us. Oh no. Everyone's trying to kill us, apparently. Okay. Well, let's try and take out these fellows, at least. And then we will see what I can do about stabilizing the situation. This is rather confusing to me. I have not played Gekokujo in quite some time, but if I recall correctly, Bruce was one of the toughest warriors on the battlefield, and goodness knows, it appears that I am being headshot from every which way, and that is causing the severe amounts of damage to be streaming in towards us. So yes, that is something we definitely need to watch out for in future, and for whatever reason, Kaguya, Mei Ling, and George are doing better, which is, well, I suppose not a surprise, because they are incredible warriors, but I always assumed that Bruce would be the one to be standing at the end of a fight. So, let us take out our bow, and we will attempt to do some damage with it. Oh, there's a nice kill already, very nice indeed, so let us... Okay. Wow, okay. So, this is very strange. I really have no explanation whatsoever as I try to control this camera, but wow. Okay, I thought that I was not putting myself into harm's way at that particular point, but it appears that the Hojo clan's gunners are some of the most accurate gunners that I have ever seen, because if you recall, when we were taking on the last faction that we conquered, which I believe may have been the... was it the Chosokabe clan? Or one of the other clans near there, I ran straight forward into a gunner because I was so confident that the gunner would not be able to hit us, and indeed he missed at around, what is it, 5 feet? Maybe a couple of meters in front of me, and wow, I just could not believe that these guys, they are so accurate. I mean, that gunner that took me out just now, I'm pretty sure, is all the way up here. Yes, these guys right here. They are raining down death upon us, and apparently being incredibly accurate doing so. Very interesting indeed. Well, that is something that I have not seen before, so it appears that you can be surprised, even after this many hours of playing Warband. It can still surprise you. That is something that I am incredibly pleased to see, that is for sure. So, yeah, it appears that maybe this castle itself is off limits to us at the moment. Maybe it's cursed. Who knows? Maybe it is cursed. Because it appears that we are now losing a huge amount of our units, and indeed I will probably be retreating and heading back to friendly territory, and hopefully gaining quite a few more units and then being able to return with a force that is capable of taking a regular castle, even though we were reasonably well suited to take Edo. I'm not entirely sure why we were able to take that so easily, but nevertheless, I will be cutting away once again as I retreat and consolidate our forces and hopefully be able to push through their lines for some reason and not die. Okay, so after quite a while waiting at Kyoto, I have now assembled a reasonable army, and as you can see we have a lot more infantry. I did send out a couple of our recruiters to Chosokabe lands, and they were able to retrieve quite a few village recruits, which we were able to level up into spearmen with our trainer skill incredibly quickly. Now, some of you have been mentioning that I should get married, and I believe it may be a good idea to get married to Lady Marisa, so we will be speaking to her, because she is accompanying us at the moment, as I am now the Marshal. So, yes, let us hopefully be able to do just that. So, I want to ask you something, and then we will say, what would it take to cement a lasting alliance with your house? Yes, that is my proposal. My lord, you are a man of great spirit and bravery, possessed of strength, courage, and wit. I would be most honored were you to become my husband. I suppose the next step would be for me to send a message to your family, asking for their permission to marry you. But I suppose that you make your own decisions. Yes, you assume correctly. Very well then, as there are no obstacles to our marriage, should we then consider ourselves engaged to be wed? I will organize a great feast and we can exchange our vows before all the lords of the clan. I am willing. Yes. And she is now going to accompany us, hopefully, to take Konadai Castle. So let us head over here, and we will hopefully be able to make it before this fellow. Unlikely, but he only has 16 units, so we should be okay. And let us just hope that she will be able to join us in this fight. Okay, so she did join us. That's good. So there we are. I was just making sure, and there we are, 2 hours to make it, and then we will lead our soldiers a joint effort with our fiancé, I suppose you could say. Oh yes. So Lady Marisa is now with us, and we will see how... oh my goodness. I really shouldn't run away from the group, should I? That is never a good idea. I was actually thinking of a particular strategy to use when we got back in here, and the first thought I had was, oh, I think it might be because I split away from the group, and no! Our fiancé was taken out by the Hojo veteran gunners. Oh my goodness, there she is. No! How dare you? We will take you down and do things to your lands and all kinds of other evil stuff, which is probably not going to happen just yet, because I have a feeling that I may die again soon. But let's just try to stay alive a little bit longer now, so that I can actually kill a few people. That would be rather nice. Take revenge a little bit upon our enemies. And oh my goodness, we do not want to run in here, that is for sure. These guys are pretty hardy units. And, whoa, okay, yes, that guy knows how to fight. we do need to be a little bit cautious of that. Oh my goodness. Wow. Interesting. Okay, so here we are. This is the first time that we are sieging this particular fief, and I am pretty sure that I will not be dying either, because, as we know, Shogun Beartilde is an incredible warrior, and nevertheless, of me actually playing him, he is not going to die at all, is he? No, he hasn't died in quite some time, and I would really hate to actually see the first time that he's actually taken out in a fight. And we do have Lady Marisa with us, who has just recently become our fiancée, so that is rather nice indeed. And did I mention that this is the first time that we're sieging this particular castle? It is relatively easy so far. We haven't had any issues whatsoever, and I haven't needed to restart or anything. I am rather astounded by that, really. I think that our units are doing an excellent job, and I am not getting taken out at all. So, yes, I am rather pleased about that, wouldn't you say? Yes, that's pretty good. Oh my goodness, some of our Mori units are being taken out, as well as Mei Ling. No, I didn't want Mei Ling to get taken out either. Oh well. As long as Lady Marisa is fine, we should be okay, because she will continue to command her units, of course. And I do need to get round here to hopefully do some damage. Okay, it appears we're actually doing not too badly. I must say that I have never seen this castle layout before, at least not in this episode. I have seen it a few times before, but it appears that this is probably one of the most difficult for the offensive force to take. Or at least, that's what I've heard anyway. It's not from my experience. I haven't had any issues in taking this. And I can only assume that, you know, if you are one to get shot by gunners, or maybe even archers, then it would be relatively difficult to take this. And I must just say that I am not one of those people. I have not been killed by a gunner in quite some time, because, as you know, gunners are incredibly inaccurate, and they've never been able to hit me once. So, yes, I'm very pleased about the progress so far, and, of course, this is reminiscent, if I recall, of the last episode in my Legend of Grimrock series. If you've seen that, then props to you. But if you haven't, then I suggest going to watch that entire series. It's wonderful. Even though, of course, my microphone quality is not exactly the greatest, I felt that that series was relatively entertaining, so at least watch the last one anyway to know what I'm talking about, but nevertheless, we are going to be winning this, and then maybe heading on to a nearby castle to indeed take that as well. Because I think it would be rather nice if we could at least take 2 strongholds of theirs in this particular episode, because I believe quite a while ago I did mention that there were going to be targets for us to be able to take particular castles and so forth, and it appears we have been able to take this without too many issues whatsoever. And wow, we actually did that first time. I am incredibly surprised, because usually it may take a little bit of time for us to be able to do this, but yes, I'm very pleased with our unit's performance. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, so we have 215 units now, when we've recouped some of our losses from the rescued prisoner pool, and we will now be exiting to take a look at the loot, which we really do not need, and many of the items there are not necessarily the greatest, so I will now be giving it to one of our 2 new vassals that I saw at Kyoto. One of them is a defector from the Nanbu clan, and another one is a defector from the Oda clan, I believe. So, yes, that's rather incredible, isn't it? So this guy already has a town. Yes, I know, this was one of my only spare fiefs to give him. So I will be giving Lord Ura this particular one. So there we are. Lord Takagi can gain the next castle, and only 1200 we will be leaving the funds there. So that is fine, and we will now be leveling up a couple of our units, and then heading on to the next castle, and we will hopefully be able to take that in the first try as well. So, There we are. Very nice indeed. So, let us head on. Not to Choshi, though. I think Choshi is going to probably be a rather drawn-out siege, so I can probably leave that. And we will now head on with Lady Marisa to Koruri Castle. And she does only have 100 oh, she has 156. I thought she only had 73, because I could only see the 73, but the one was obscured, apparently. So there we are. 164 plus 23, and 22 prisoners. So let us head in and batter down the gates. Lady Marisa will, of course, join us. I will wait until tomorrow, or at least wait for some time, just to rejuvenate some of our HP. Now, I am noticing quite a few lords are defecting to us, which is rather nice. So, after we have taken Koruri Castle, which I will begin sieging now, I will be heading back to Kyoto and maybe even defending from the likes of the Hojo vassal that is currently sieging Konadai Castle. So, oh, it appears it's this layout. Okay, so this layout, for me, has been rather good in the past, and I have not taken any damage from it previously, so let us hope that that will be the case this time around. So, beware of the gunners. That is all I can say at the moment. We will attempt to avoid the gunners at all costs. But we will be attempting to do as much damage as possible to the enemies on the ground, of course. And come on, let's do some slashes. Yes, there we are. Come on, take them down. Yes, there we are. That is what we like to see, that is for sure. And now I will head up to the gunner's nest and maybe take them down as well. That would be rather nice. Ouch. How dare you? My goodness. I cannot believe you could hit the Shogun. Well, I suppose they do want to assassinate us, and oh my goodness, did I really take that much damage? Or no, actually, I entered on pretty low HP, I believe, so yes, me running in there like a maniac was not necessarily the greatest idea, but I suppose it is necessary. A means to an end, and all that, and oh, come on, let's take out these fellows as quickly as we can. Don't let them get another shot off. Yes, there we are. And oh no, that guy. Oh, I thought he was going to shoot me right there. And he actually did. Oh well. Oh my, there's a lot of units up there. I am not too pleased about that. I'm just going to run around like a headless chicken a little bit to prevent myself from dying. Maybe. Oh my. We may be having quite a few issues here. I'm gonna make a run for this little shack here, and maybe it will prevent me from dying. Okay, so let's use this for cover, and we're going to try shooting these fellows with our bow, and hopefully polish up on our bow skills a little bit, because I have not used the bow in quite some time. So this may be relatively amusing at how inaccurate I am, but I appear to be hitting quite a few. So it's not too bad, I have to admit. Oh my, some of these units though are incredibly well armored. I am getting quite a few headshots though, which is amazing. I'm actually not even aiming, believe it or not. I'm not aiming at all, and no! Lady Marisa has been taken out. Oh my goodness, our fiancé, no! I thought she was incredibly brave to charge in there at least. Yes, just get on her good side, that is what we need to do. Every time she gets taken out, we need to give her a compliment or something. Oh my. She's going to be really mad at us for not assisting her in combat over there, even though we're low health. We're just going to be, oh, honey, I'm too low HP to head in there. Or something similar to that effect. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, how many units have we lost so far? Oh, actually, quite a few. Oh no. Yes, quite a few in combination with Lady Marisa's forces. And I have a feeling that we're going to get taken out here, because these steps are the best defensive structure I believe this castle layout has. They are able to completely pincushion us with all sorts of projectiles. Oh, and it appears I am incredibly lucky to survive. So let's head in here with this Hatamoto guard. He is fighting 4-on-1. No! 4-on-1, and he was eventually taken out. Unfortunate. But nevertheless, he was only wounded, I believe, so we will be able to see him again in a future siege, or indeed field battle. Come on, let's take out these guys as quickly as we can. Don't get shot by this guy. Oh my goodness, he's blocking. Oh yes, parried him right there and then took him out. That is wonderful. Now I'm just checking. Oh no. It appears that we have a couple of enemy forces on top there in the archery gunner nest, and we're going to have to watch out for those. I think what we might want to do... Actually, we're not doing too badly here. Okay, come on. Let's just wade in here. Even if we die, at least we have taken out a couple of units with us. Oh my goodness. Okay, whoa, that was actually incredibly close. I was almost about to die. If I had not been using overhead attacks, I would not have been able to riposte that fellow. Yes. Well, that was at least a little bit cool. Well, let's have a look here. How many... Oh, I cannot actually bring up the command menu strategy map or anything like that, so it appears that we will have to watch our units and hope that they are able to take out the remaining units. And then we will have captured our second fief. And it appears that this is the first time I've been taken out as well this episode. That is actually not entirely common, is it? No, it's rather rare for me to get taken out, especially in sieges. Yes. Okay, so we've actually received quite a few reinforcement waves already. I'm actually wondering whether we're going to be able to push forward here, because how many enemy units do they have currently coming down? Let's take a look. Ooh, not that many. That's actually rather nice, and we do have a huge amount of reinforcements coming in, so I think we should have a good chance of being able to take this the first time we've sieged it, so that's actually pretty reasonable, even if I had to give up Bruce's life to be able to do it. And wow, we actually have, oh my goodness, there's a huge amount of gunners and ranged units in their various structures here. That is not too pleasing, to say the least. I have a feeling that our units are going to take quite some time to get there, but nevertheless, we do get a really cool cameraman to control our camera here. He's not doing a terribly good job, is he? I might need to fire him. Well, nevertheless, we are going to take out this gunner right here. Come on. How could you miss him twice? There we are. Good work. Asakura Retainer. Okay, that was one of Lady Marisa's units. I shouldn't really insult them, I don't think. She's going to be mad. Well, nevertheless, it appears that we have been successful in our attempts to take 2 strongholds in this episode. Well, not 3, so that is a little unfortunate, but what can you do? Sometimes the gunners are too good, and I don't know why I'm mentioning that. I haven't actually died from gunners before. I died from an archer, I believe, in this particular episode, perhaps? And I've only died once, so yeah, that's not too bad. Now, of course, those gunners were incredibly deadly to us in the first part of this episode. They were... wow, I just can't believe it, really. So, yeah, that is relatively strange and quite baffling, to be honest, because, as you know, usually I'm impervious to muskets. But it appears this time around Bruce was a little bit weaker to them for whatever reason. And what is going on here? You archers, get out of the doorway. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. I must just mention, the reason why the cameraman is currently absolutely terrible at directing the action here is because the after-death camera is actually controlled with the number pad directional keys, so yes, it's a little bit difficult to use, but I must mention that it is actually smoother than many of the other after-death camera mods that I've seen and indeed played with. So that is something to think about, of course. And we will now just continue onward, I suppose. There we are. We did lose a huge amount of our units, but I suppose that is a small price to pay for reducing the territory that the Hojo clan currently has control over, of course. So let us take as many as we can here, and then we will see what the situation is with the various vassals that are outside. I'm hoping that they're not going to attack us immediately. We are rather low in HP, and indeed our units are rather injured, so we might have to rest up within the castle itself before moving at all. And we do have quite a few units here leveling up, which is rather wonderful to see, I must admit. And there we are. Very nice indeed. And the items, I will be taking these. but nothing else. And there we are. So let's have a look. Who are we going to give this to? We're going to give this to Lord Takagi. And there we are. He now has 22 relation. I was about to say 26, but that's Lord Ura, of course. So, yes, there we are. We will not plunder this. And I will be waiting for some time. And what's currently going on here? Okay, Lady Marisa is doing a pretty reasonable job here. She has 75 units ready for battle, but I think I will probably end the campaign while I'm off screen. And so, next time on Gekokujo, I will hopefully have recovered, and we will then be able to take out the last remaining fiefs that the Hojo clan currently has control over. So, I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.